In this video I'm going to tell you how one tiny change to my trading made thousands of pounds worth of difference over the last 5 or 6 years. Right, that was a bit clickbaity, but the reason for this video is I'm still working on part 3 of the beginner's guide. So while I'm doing that, I just thought I would update and answer a couple of questions that I was asked off the back of part 2. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way, and keep your eye open for when I do part 3 of the Betfair Beginners Guide. Question number 1 was, hi Dave, how do you make the Betfair Racing UK footage bigger so you can actually see what's going on? Yeah, it is a bit small, isn't it, when it's just the normal size. So let me show you how I do that. It defaults to what you set it at before, and I have mine at 200%. I'll show you how I have it, roughly like that. I don't want to cover anything over that's important to me. I only look at the top 3 in the market. I won't be trading this race, by the way. It's not one that fits my criteria, but I'm just using it as an example. What I do is I use something called desk pins, because otherwise when you click on this screen, that's going to bring that bit forward and this bit's going to end up behind it. Let me show you. Okay. So to stop that happening, I use this. Now the way I get it to this size is, I'll send it, this is how it is normally. So what you need to do is, on your keypad, bottom left is the button called control, and sort of near the top right-ish area is the button with the equals and the plus sign. If you hold the control button down and then press the plus button once, you'll notice that goes to 110. And if I press it again, it goes to 120, 133, 150, 170, 200. So I normally have it on 200, maybe 170. The problem is that if you press the control minus, it'll go back down one. The problem is that the bigger you make it, the slightly poorer the quality of the pictures, to be honest. So, and some people have it full size on their other monitor. I like to have it right here, which I'll explain a bit more why I do that in a second. So that's question 1 answered. Question 2, and the main reason for doing this video is, and the reason for me to say, oh, this one simple trick has saved me thousands of pounds over the last 5 or 6 years, it is this. I know it sounds a bit flippant and a bit clickbaity for me to say, oh, you know, watch this video and you're going to save thousands of quid on your trading. But I genuinely believe this is true. And the question here is from someone called Lewis, and he said, do I use the one-click screen or the ladder? Well, the answer to that is always the one-click screen, and I will explain why. When I first started trading in running, I wasn't very good, like most people when they start off. When you lay a horse on the ladder and it goes brilliantly well for you, so you lay it and the price then forevermore just drifts out and out and out. Any moron can manage that trade, okay? But even doing a simple thing like that, you can make mistakes sometimes by misclicking, etc, etc. But when things start to go wrong, that's when you really get in a mess trading on the ladder. So let me explain why I believe that is the case. I'm probably going to have to let you watch this next race with the ladders on here instead of the one-click screen, so you can sort of see what I mean. Now at the moment, this is pre-race, got 25 minutes to go, so there's not a lot of money here already, 38,000 matched. And this is the odds on favourite. Look, you can see there's money either side, and that will heat up obviously towards the end, and you get the people who, you know, trade big money on pre-race will start to hammer this up and down and do what they do. It's witchcraft to me, by the way. I never understand how they can look at a ladder and go, oh yeah, I think the price is going to go in or go out just based on what they're looking at. I have no idea. So this will have loads of money either side everywhere, and the prices at the moment are virtually rock solid. So if for argument's sake I wanted to lay that now at that price at 7.6, my bet's going to get taken. I can then comfortably put a tick in, one tick above, because the price isn't going to go zooming around, so I've got time to place my bets and it's all honky-dory. When this goes in running, things will change. And how long is this race? It's a 1 mile race. So at the very, very beginning, unless something dramatic happens when they come out of the stalls, and let's assume they all get a reasonably level break, then the prices, even in the first furlong or so, will still be fairly steady. But the further and further the race gets in, the more frenetic the trading becomes. And it's when things go wrong that the one-click screen will save you lots of money and make trading much easier for you. So what happens is, when I'm trading, let's assume that they break out and the favourite's not in a great position. He's been maybe boxed in on the rail or something like that. worry about that. But let's assume they're coming to a bend and he's blocked in, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, there could be a trade here, the price might move. So right from the beginning of the race, I'll have the video on down here. It's a long way to go yet for the race, but so we'll just pretend this is the race video. So when the race is going, all I've got to do is watch the horse I think might be a trade. So I'll be watching this one. I'll have my mouse right there ready to lay it, and I'll be watching the horse in the race on this little video here. Okay, so because I've got my mouse in the right place, I don't need to look at this anymore. It doesn't matter to me. I can concentrate 100% on the race. Occasionally, if I think I'm about to get to the position where I'm going to click, I will check back to make sure the price hasn't dramatically gone out and I've missed the price, because I don't want to lay it when I've missed the price. But mainly, I'm watching the race and I'll click that button. Okay, so on here I have some very good servants which are back for profit servants. So they're set up by Andrew and they work and they do what he wants them to do, which is why I use them. They're very good. Now, even if you're not a member, you can, if you've got BetAngel, I'm sure other softwares enable you to do this. You can set up, simple servants that say, when I click this button, I want to fire a bet in to lay this horse for X amount of stake or X amount of liability. And because the price in running is going to move around a bit, you'll often set, I think mine is set to something like 6 or 7 ticks above the price. So it'll fire in the lay bet up to 6 or 7 ticks above the price. Obviously, it'll give you the best price you can get, but so you try and catch the price. This will help you because it'll fire it in 6 or 7 ticks. It's quite difficult to catch the price when it starts to move on the ladder, and you'll go to lay it, and let's say I'm watching this and it's 182 now, and then it goes to 190, 221, and then I think, oh yeah, I want to lay this now. So I click it at 2-1. It's probably going to catch the price between 2-1 and 2-2, something like that, but it'll catch it nine times out of 10. So I get the price and that's it. So I've laid it. My match bets will show there, so I'll see the lay bet. So let's assume, just to keep it easy, I've laid it for a fixed stake of 100 quid. So that'll show there. My offsets will appear on the ladder and appear down here as unmatched bets. As soon as I've clicked it to lay it, I'm still watching the horse, but I'll move my mouse to the close all button, which is this button here, and that button, well, I call it an OS button, meaning oh shit, as it's gone wrong. But basically it's a close all button. So I've laid the horse, I move straight to there, and I'm watching the horse like a hawk. Even more carefully now, because I've got skin in the game, than I was before I decided to enter. So now I'm really watching it. If anything changes, then without hesitation, I click that button. And what it does, it'll cancel these unmatched offset bets, okay, immediately, and fire in a bet at the best possible price it can get me to get me out of the trade, okay? And it does that quicker and faster than I can possibly do ever by trying to chase the price on the ladder. First of all, on the ladder, you've got to cancel your offset bets. Then you've got to try and catch the price to get matched. And if the price is bouncing around, and if you've spotted something's happening, and other people will, so the price will start to move quickly. And if you're getting in the business end of the race, it's going to happen really rapidly. So very often on the ladder, when I used to trade on the ladder, I've had the situation where the price has gone against me. I've tried to trade out, I've missed the price. I've tried to click it again, I've missed the price. Then I've caught the price at the wrong price, and then the price has gone back the other way, and it's all going wrong. And I'm looking at the ladder and I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't work out whether I actually want this horse now to win or lose, because I've just really royally messed this up. That's what a lot of traders do when they're new to in running, is when it goes wrong, they either freeze and panic like a rabbit in the headlights, or they start frantically clicking buttons to try and, make the problem less of a liability. But often when you do that, and I've done it, you actually make things worse. Trying to trade on the ladder when the prices are bouncing around in running when you're a beginner is exceptionally difficult, and I would say ridiculously dangerous. When I switched over to using the one-click screen, I found that what it did for me was it gave me a clear picture in my mind. I'm watching the horse, I'm ready to pounce if I see an opportunity. The minute I've done that, I then move to the close all button, and all I have to do then is decide, do I let this carry on or do I exit the trade? Okay, so my clarity of thought makes it easier for me to manage the trade. I have less things to think about, less things to worry about. And the other thing about this is as well, and this is really such a big thing, virtually every trader, new in-running trader who speaks to me, who I've spoken to via my blog or whatever, people have got in touch and I've chatted to them, virtually every single one of them, they go, yeah, what's happening is I'm getting 10 greens in a row, 15 greens in a row, 20 greens in a row, and then I'll get a monumental red, completely wipes out all the 20 profits I've just made and more. So now I've lost all that hard work, I've blown the whole lot, and I'm really annoyed. So the next race, I'll go and make a bigger hash of the next race, and all of a sudden I've emptied my Betfair bank completely, and I'm having to reload more money into it. The beauty of this close all button is the way I do it is, you can see there it says later back 30%. So I'm trying to get 30%. So let's say that's 100. I've laid it for 100 quid. When the ladder gets me to a point where I'm in £30 profit, that's when these offset bets will get taken. So it'll have 100 quid there, 70 quid there, I've made 30 quid. Simple as that, okay? But if I'm using, like I am, which is a chunky liability, my liability is £250 at the moment, okay? But if I lose 10% of that, 25 quid, that's really as much as I generally ever really lose. If I have a loss of 40 or 50, that'll sting a bit for me. I don't like that sort of loss. But if I have a loss of, 5 or 10 or 15, 20 quid, it's nothing. It's really nothing to me. So it's not going to affect my mind. That's the important thing. I'm never going to get a full loss liability, because although I'm using £250 liability, I am never really putting £250 at risk. I just don't, because I will instantly hit that button the second anything gives me even the slightest reason to believe that what I originally laid it for, that reason is now not happening. So let's say I laid it because I can see the jockey is pushing it along and it's being niggled and etc, etc. So I lay it, price starts to drift. But then when the jockey's asking it to, shake itself up a bit, it actually responds, comes back on the bridle, and then it might move up from 8th up to 4th. You're in a mess. So because the price will really have gone against you then, and you'll be in a big red. So when I see it in 8th and it looks like it's not off the bridle anymore, even when it's in 8th, I'm thinking, shit, this horse is running better now. So by the time it's got up to 7th, I've already clicked that button. So there's a very good chance that I'll either get out with a small green or a small red. Basically a scratch. If I win or lose 10 quid on a race, then that isn't really a trade to me, a red or a green. It's just a scratch. That's why using the one-click screen is so beneficial to any trader, I believe, but certainly to if you're new. Don't try and chase the prices around. And I'll record a race in a second. This one's got 13 minutes to go, so I'll pause the video and I'll run this next race with the ladder on the screen, and you can see how the prices bounce around. Trying to catch the price inside the 3 furlong pole is very, 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 very difficult indeed. Right, they're just loading them up. As the prices move around, I'm going to press the enter key to try and keep the prices centered so you can see them. But as I say, this is a 1 mile race, so for the first 4 furlongs the prices should be relatively stable, I would suggest. But then it starts to go a bit bonkers, and that's when you'll get in a complete mess if you're trying to trade on the ladder. And away they go. I don't even know which horse is which, to be honest. I haven't even bothered watching them. Number 7's the favourite, that's the only thing I know, which I think is that one there, Giselle, I think it is. And the price is already going out a bit on that Giselle. I don't like that. Let me centre the price for you. Oh blimey, it's gone up to nearly 3s now. You could have traded that right from the beginning, but you need a drone really to do that, I would suggest. You always get the bad price if you lay them on the break, unless you've got a drone. Yeah, not a lot of money on the ladder for that, is there? It's 300,000 nearly, so there's a bit of money around. Let's see if he can move forward and the price will come back down again. Second favourite's this yellow one with a red cap. Third favourite is this one there. Looks like he's being pushed a little bit actually, that third favourite. Oh, the favourite's being pushed along, I think. But he's asking for extra effort. Is he going to give it to him? These two are very short. Here comes the favourite. Is he going to get there? Is he going to get there? Oh, blimey. Handicapper should get a pat on the back for this finish. Oh, close, isn't it?
This event has been suspended.
Right, good race to watch. Very exciting. Not one for me to be trading. I don't like the flat at the best of times. So, hopefully that's giving you indication that when the prices start bouncing around, it gets very difficult to trade off the ladder. For me personally, when I switched to using the one-click screen, it made a big difference to my trading because it just gives you clarity of thought. You have less to think about, less to concentrate on, so just do those things well. You'd have to worry about chasing the prices. The one-click screen will do it all for you.